का माइग्रेट सिचुएशन इतना ख़राब हो चुका है अभी कि वो लोग वहाँ पे एक रिपोर्टर को अलेजेडली अटैक कर दिया है, व्हिच इज़ एब्सोल्युटली इनसेन। इमेजिन बिलीविंग इन फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच और तुमको कोई यहाँ पे अटैक कर दे ऐसे।
For years, Spain is lying to the world about its own massive migrant crisis. Over the weekend, they claimed that the situation was under control. No problema. The Moroccan invaders were home. Really? Thousands are reportedly setting up camp on the beaches there and in the streets, refusing to leave. Some really gross video coming out of there. Independent journalist Nick Shirley is on the ground in Ceuta and is finding that they also aren't very friendly.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Now we got people throwing stuff at us. Look, he's got the rocks now. He's throwing rocks. Oh. They're throwing rocks. No. Look, now we're getting chased. He has a knife. He has a knife.
They just wanted a better life. Here with us to discuss is independent journalist Nick Shirley. Nick, what did I tell you the last time I saw you last week? I said you got to be careful out there. I know it's late for you. I'm glad you were able to outrun them. What happened after you were chased? Where exactly were you? Were there police or anyone there to help you?
Yeah, we ran down to the bottom of the hill because we were kind of on the top of the hill at that point when we were getting chased. And then we saw the guy reach for his knife and he said he was going to stab both of us. So we obviously ran as far as we could. And then we got to a spot and it was funny. Our car was parked like right next to where the guy was, where he threatened to stab us. So we had to get in a police car and then had them drop us off so we didn't get stabbed or the guy didn't come after us again.
Well, there goes your camera. That's okay. Were you... was that a Moroccan? I mean, who was that guy? Were these migrants that were still hanging around, or who were these people?
Yeah, it was a group of people that were still hanging around. Some of the Moroccans that hadn't gone back yet. There's still thousands of people on this. It's basically like a little island because it's just this part of Spain that's just all by itself on the African continent. So,
they think it's theirs.
That's what happened.
Yeah, they think it's theirs.
Yeah,
right?
but it's...
So there's a lot. Look at how close.
But it's never been theirs.
Yeah, well, we go back hundreds and hundreds of years. We can do the entire Islamic march through Europe too. But Nick, you notice something peculiar about this group? Watch.
Once again, not a single woman in sight. This is all just a group of men right here, all being escorted down the mountain from the Spanish military. And how old are you guys? 28. He's 28. 21. ¿Por qué mujeres no vinieron aquí?
Explain that. The point about Islam, women stay at home like Islam says. This is conquest. This is not just looking for a better life. This is clear they got a goal.
Yeah, and it's like if you had no job, no money inside of your country, why would you leave your wife there? And it's very interesting to think that all these men, they're all 21 to 28 years old, and they're all coming here, like literally in the truckloads. Like truckloads of men just got dropped off at the border. The Moroccan government let them through, and then the Spain government literally opened up the gate for them.
So when they say that that overwhelmingly, like they led us to believe that 50,000 people were returned to Morocco. That is not what you're seeing.
No, I mean, there were thousands of people up in the mountains. Like everywhere you look when you're driving around the town, you'd look up in the hill and there'd be somebody crawling out of the mountain. Like who knows how many people are still there? I mean, there's not a real number you could give.
What do they expect to? What they expect to just stay there and get taken care of? Or there's obviously a lot of break-ins that we've seen. A lot of people bashing in people's windows. So what do they expect to get?
The goal is to make it over the mainland. And then from there, I heard people say they're going to want to go to Romania. They want to go to Paris. They want to go to London, Germany, you name it. They want to go anywhere inside of Europe.
Nick, all I can say is be careful on the streets. I'm glad you held on to your camera. I love that. You jogged pretty fast with that camera, but that was close. Nick, be careful, please. Oh, my goodness. You're crazy. You're crazy.
एंड इन अदर न्यूज़ में देख रहा था कि ट्रम्प ईरान को आखिरी चांस देने जा रहा है, विच आई एम नॉट रियली श्योर हाउ इट्स गोना वर्क आउट, क्योंकि ये सिचुएशन इतना ड्रैग्ड हो चुका है फॉरवर्ड में, मेरे को नहीं पता कि ये खत्म कब होगा।
So President Trump, in a lengthy appearance from the Oval Office this afternoon, basically said there are two options for Tehran. A deal, which he says he's giving them one last chance to come to the table on, or total surrender after he called off this bombing campaign that may have lasted a couple of weeks if it was brought in its full force. Here's the president just a short time ago.
He was going to come last night, and it would have gone on for a long time, and there'd be essentially very little left. There'd be nothing left. And if I'm given a chance to let a lot of people live, I want to give that chance. So I'm under no time constraint.
So let's look at this from a military perspective. We bring in retired four-star General Joseph Votel, former CENTCOM commander, which is the leadership in this whole region, now Middle East Institute Distinguished Senior Fellow. General, always good to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is the reaction from General Jack Keane earlier today on our air when he was asked about this Saudi influence that has happened a few times during the course of the last 6 months about a pullback from military action that looked imminent. Watch.
The fact of the matter is the Saudis are not willing to sacrifice to rid the Middle East region of Iran's aggression. That is the absolute fact that we're seeing playing out here. What do I mean by sacrifice? Casualties and the damage to some of their oil reserves. That's the reality that's taking place here. They're willing for us to make that sacrifice for sure.
Do you agree with that, General?
Well, certainly. First of all, it's great to be with you, Martha. Certainly, there's been a significant impact on all of the Gulf partners over the last 6 months of this war, and at the top of the list has been the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I mean, they've had a significant, retraction of their revenues from oil, around 25% or so, which is significantly impacting them. So they are making decisions in their own interests right now. Whether those are good decisions or not, time will tell down the line. But they are certainly making decisions that are in their own interests right now.
I mean, we could dig in on that, but I want to ask you about Brad Cooper, the current CENTCOM commander, because we understand, according to reporting, that CENTCOM was basically asked for some new creative plans to basically make Iran capitulate in this situation. And this is a story from the Wall Street Journal, and you see the reporters along the bottom here. It says, Cooper has long labored with a bureaucratic disadvantage. He lacks the easy access that Kaine has to the Oval Office. The vast majority of Trump's updates on the war have been delivered by Kaine and Hegseth. Cooper has briefed the president in person only a handful of times since the war began. And the suggestion here is that that Cooper believes that military force could deliver a devastating body blow if he's given the leeway to go ahead and do it. What's your reaction to that?
Well, as a former combatant commander, I mean, we relied on the Secretary of Defense and the Chairman to exercise their responsibilities and carry the best military advice and to the President of the United States. They interact with him or her on a regular basis, and so that's their job. That's what they do. And then on occasion, I had the opportunity to talk directly to the President, and I'm sure Admiral Cooper has as well. I mean, again, a lot of this is from the perspective from which people are operating. Admiral Cooper is looking at a military problem that he has in the region right now. He has resources at his disposal, and he wants to use those, I think, to bring those to a conclusion.
Yeah, that's his job, as you say, to come up with military solutions, to present them to the president, and to see where it goes. But he's largely seen as someone who has just a very unique perspective and handle on the region, as you did as well.
Anyways guys, that's about it for this video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. आप लोग क्या सोचते हैं? And do leave a like and a subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. That's about it. Peace out. Have fun.